Hi, my name's Wilx, and this is episode 27 of Project Ozone 2 Reloaded in Titan mode. So, today we're going to make a villager spawner. Then we're going to go over a whole setup for a Phytogenic Insolator to generate mass quantities of EMC. And I'll show you a few other changes I made to the base to improve things as well. So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is I have a zombie in here, but in specific, he is a villager zombie. And when I was out there catching getting zombie heads, I noticed a couple of villager zombies, so I scooped them up and saved them for later. So in here, we're going to take out the skeleton that's in there. We're going to put this in there, and we're going to set exact copy to yes. And we're going to go over here and turn this on. And I need another one of these. And I'm going to need to put some of these on my bar. Okay, and there goes our first customer. So we're going to grab him, stick him there. See, he's a villager zombie. And right-click him with this thing. Come back here. We got another one yet? There you are. Come here, stick him there. Stick him with this. Well, what I'm using here is the De-Zombification syringe from MFR. Whoops. They're pretty easy to make. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, none yet. So we have here a Reaper 5 on a Wyvern sword. Wyvern swords are pretty cheap, and they're easy to take. Let me show you what I mean by that. See, and if you look at it, on inventory, we can take the books in and out on it. So it seemed like the best thing to do this with. And we're looking for a villager soul. Loot bag, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a villager soul. Quit hopping around. So I'm going to make you watch a little bit of this because this is a long and painful process. We could be doing this as many as 50 times. I'm not going to make you watch all of that. Well, actually, we could be doing this 100 times, not 50 times. My expectation is 40 or 50 times. I am keeping count of how many I'm doing this with. Getting ahead of me here. I think I'm going to go turn this off for just now. I don't want it to build up too many of them. And that will be our first 10. What did I got my villager soul. All right. Okay, that was easier than I expected. We got a couple of spare villagers here. Let's stick them in something very quickly here. I'm going to stick them in some of these. I'm not going to waste... Actually, I need... No, I don't need any of them. Oh, I should look at their trades, I guess. What's your trade? Never mind. You will not necessarily get that lucky to get one that quickly. I did not expect that. To give you some clue as to what I was more expecting, as you can see, I made a few of these things. And didn't need them all. Okay, and my villager zombie soul, let's put him away as well. Actually, I'm going to cut away at this point in time. And I'm going to come back in the nether. So you saw how to get a villager soul. Back in a sec. Alright, see that spawner down there? That's what we're going for. Okay, and I'm going to go click that with a draconic core. Whoops. And we now have a stabilized mob spawner. Okay, and I shall see you back in a bit. Alright, we're back at my base. Now something I want to make before we get started on this is I want to make a conduit switch. I'm not the slightest bit sure that this thing turns off with a lever of any sort. I don't know. Actually, let me make something clear. I've never done any of this before, so if I don't do it in the most efficient manner, please forgive me. But I've done some reading up on it, at least what I could find, so I think I know what I'm doing, but I may not be the best at it first time out. Okay, anyways, the conduit switch is just some redstone conduit, which is just some redstone alloy, and some levers and some conduit binder. And that is an on-off switch for power cables. The EnderIO ones. When I come over here, I made this nice new spot for it. And we're going to place it right up here. And that way we can turn it on and off when we please. Oh, I know what I haven't done here. And I do need to do that now. Place one there. There we go. Boy, we're awfully close to those mobs. I'm going to need to put my lights out further. Something for another time. Okay, so this is the stabilized mob spawner that we brought back with us. That's the mob soul that we got before. What if I got a lava drum on me for? Who knows? Okay, so we can place this now. Once we put the mob soul in it, if we break it after that, we lose the mob soul. So we don't want to have to go through that again. So for now, we are going to make sure that we've got it in the right spot. Oh, I don't know how far it goes. I'm assuming that it goes the same distance as other mob spawners, which would be 4 out. I'm not sure whether this should be one higher or there. Don't know. So we're going to click it with our mob soul, and boom, we've got mobs that are being pushed down over here. So then we can come over here, and we can turn it off when we don't want it to go. Okay, and what do I do with all those little vials? Nasty guy. Knew we were kind of close to you. Glad we've got that thing for whatchamacallit, creepers. Otherwise this would be very dangerous. So we can click on What was that? No idea. Shift click? There, shift click them in. What have you got? Paper for emeralds? Who cares? You don't believe the number of emeralds I'm producing now. Emeralds for Certus? Don't care. Okay, so that's how we get our villager souls for crafting purposes. And you'll see why in another episode why I needed that. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, let's show you a couple other things we did here. So that is the villager spawner done. We can now spawn villagers and grab their souls at will. That is a very important step, and a lot of people have difficulty with that. Oh, before I show you that, I decided to move my lunium. I moved them all the way over here. That way, I can put this on a big range, and I don't have to worry about picking up things either from here or anything else over here. It's way out of the way over here. The other advantage to putting it over here is I'd like these pools to stay full, and all the extra gets put into here and eaten up almost instantly by this thing. So I'm still producing mana. See, it's all emptying out of these pools here, the ones with the recessive sparks, and it's only the excess mana that's coming over here now. So whenever I want to do something over here, I'm not all out of mana every time. So I basically solved 3 problems in one when I moved it over there. Okay, here, this is what I spent all the time on. I did this and redid this, trying to get it right, and I'm still not 100% happy with it. So what it is I made myself an energy condenser. Energy condenser, actually it should be on the screen. Energy condenser. So we needed red matter. We got that from the Eternalist fuel and the dark matter. We had all that once we got the Philosopher's Stone. Actually, I guess I should show you that. I don't think I showed that on screen. So to get Eternalist fuel, you've got to put Mobius fuel in with the Philosopher's Stone, a chemical fuel in with the Philosopher's Stone, coal in. And it takes like just under 10,000 coal to get enough to make one of these things. Okay, so I'm using octuple compressed cobblestone just to save it because it's 43 million EMC. Let's stop making it for a sec, and you'll see what's coming into this. So we got nether stars coming in and blocks of emerald. The way that's working is I've got nether star essence coming in here and emerald essence. And they're being crafted together to make blocks and nether stars, which are being shoved into here. To get the nether stars, I'm at the suggestion of Bobbin and Semical's box. Both suggested that I get the Photogenic Insolator, and I'm using that. This is the rich pyrogrow and nether star seeds. I just made one, and it keeps copying them. It copies them so fast that I put a void on this chest over here, and this chest stays pretty full. Or drawer, not chest. So what's happening in here is it's growing them, and that's because we're getting our nether star essences going in there, which shoves it into here. Because this thing is set up where it's outputting from there, it's inputting here and here, and the seeds are coming out the bottom and going into that box. You can't see that part. One other thing you got to know about these, go underneath here, is it takes 2 of these infinite water sources to keep up with one of these fully charged up. So the water's coming up to all of those, but we need an awful lot of water to do it. 2 each. There are 4 of these. I need access to 4 sides, so I'm using the top, the sides, and the bottom. Outputting from this side, inputting from that side, pulling the seeds out the bottom, putting the seeds back in the top. They don't just automatically feed from here to here. Augments. I've got the full, this is a resonant. So I got the full 3 speed upgrades in it to make it go really, really fast. Rich Pyro Grow triples the amount of output you get. So you would need 3 times as many of these if you were using the regular Pyro Grow instead of the Rich Pyro Grow. And so I've got 4 of them. I think I'm going to put more on here yet. Okay, so in this crafter, I've got niter, pulverized charcoal, and rich slag. Those are all being combined together. Each type, one of each of those gives me 32 rich Pyro Grow, which is being fed over here, which gets fed into those. Originally, and we're using Resident Retriever, and it's set for 4 stacks. So we got 4 stacks of each of those going in here. Originally, I had this pipe running to all 3 of those machines. Didn't work very well. I was getting weird things that shouldn't be happening, like coal going into this one. And stuff that shouldn't happen was happening. So I decided to neat it up. I put this as a buffer chest. It's got the 3 different things here, and gets fed in there. No confusion for it now. So this thing here is outputting to the top niter, and it's using the saltpeter essence. I had 9 crops of that going, and I had to shut them off because I got way too much niter. I use very little of it. Maybe 1 plant would probably be enough, but I'm waiting to get rid of like a 50,000 backlog of saltpeter essence at this point in time. In here, we got a pulverizer. No augmentation, doesn't need it. It's working way faster than we need. And it's charcoal going in. I had that set up before I was feeding charcoal to the plants over there. So I still got plenty of charcoal. Here's the more interesting one, induction smelter. For this, I've got gold ore going in and sand going in. And it's spitting out gold into this slot, which gets shoved back into my system, into a drawer. And rich slag comes out the bottom here. The rich slag gets sent over there. Actually, it doesn't come out the bottom, it comes out the top. So the yellow square is going out there. Red square is going out right this side. And that brown feeds into the drawers. For the sand, what I've done is this is a cobblestone framework. And I put a sag mill in the cobblestone framework, and it creates gravel and sand, and I can pull either one of them out. So the filter here is for sand, and it shoves the sand over like that. This one here is being fed from underneath, I think, gold essence, which turns it into gold ore. The gold ore gets shoved into that. And I'll show you, not that you really need to see this stuff, but I'll show you a little bit down below. Originally I had it coming out of the drawer controller, and the drawer controller was too busy and was beginning to mess up. So now I've got it pumping it over here into this chest, or into this drawer, and oh, it's out of saltpeter essence here. Cool. The gold essence just flows right through right now. And emerald essence, that's pretty much flowing through too. Okay. I had a backlog of all of those. But if you check, I've still got the system where it can come from the drawer controller. I've still got 25,000 saltpeter and no emerald essence. Okay, so we've eaten up all the emerald essence. And that is from, we've got 10 harvesters just doing emeralds. Oh, after a whole bunch of people, I don't want to say how many, I'm not going to name everybody's name, kept telling me that I should get rid of the sludge on these things. I'm not sure at all that the sludge affects it. At least in the configs, it's not supposed to. However, those trash cans are so cheap, I just toss one on each of them, and I don't have to worry that there might have been a minor delay from something else because there was sludge in it. So I've got 10 harvesters doing emeralds. They're like 3 by 3 each one. I've got 1 doing gold essence. I may need to do more if I'm running out of gold essence down there. It's not that I've run out to the point where it's not, yeah, it's just not filling up anymore. So for running 4 of these, all fully upgraded with augments, I'm going to need just a little more than that 9 there. I'll do another one, but I'll bet you that another harvester full. But I bet you that's too much. I'll probably just do, I don't know. I'll figure it out. So anyways, that's how we're doing it. Now that I've stopped making the topo, you see how fast it's filling up with the nether stars. So let's take a count on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's making, notice the nether star is 147,000. The block of emeralds 147,000. So it's going 13 times as fast as 10 of those. Well, that's not really fair. Let's say it was one photo whatever. It would be going about 4 times as fast as 10 of these farms doing emeralds. So it is a better method. There are lots of different methods of doing EMC. After Cazador Sniper sees this one, don't be surprised if it gets nerfed and this video becomes outdated. I don't know that it needs to be nerfed. There was quite a bit involved in doing this. I've made it all look very simple. Like I could have, originally I was going to have these all pushed much tighter together, but I wanted to keep it this spread out so it was very obvious to you what was going on. Power is being supplied underneath these things, etc. But I wanted it to be very obvious how my flow was working. So this is a pretty good method of generating EMC. I've got a whole bunch of stacks of the octuple. So the octuple, that's worth, a stack of these things is, oh, it doesn't even show the amount. 43 times 64, yeah, that's quite a few million. So billions per stack. All right. And if I were to put in more photogenic isolators, the first thing that would start having trouble would be the induction smelter. I could probably put another 2 of these in with that one induction smelter. I don't know the number. But after that, this one I'd have to repeat. All the other parts, like the pulverizer and the crafters, they can keep up no problem. So as you increase the number of photogenic insulators, you're going to need to increase the induction smelters. Might be like 6 to 1. Okay, that covers off that part of it. Oh, I did finish, I don't know why I bothered, but because I had a energy condenser, I finished putting all the upgrades in these things. And now I can make bedrockium drums and stuff, and I've got lots of sextuple over here. I've started to run out of mob fluid for this guy here. So I decided to do something about that. I'm down to 10 because I kept on getting the stuff to make more lily pads. I can make another whole, I could double the number of lily pads I have, I think, at this point. So to get more fluid, rather than putting it back to the grinder, why have I got a strange cow in here? Firewater, what are you doing there? He's messing up the system. I'll have to put him away properly later, but firewater. And that means this will be messed up. Light oil. We got a light oil in there too? You're a light oil. Why are you spawning over here? I should have put it closer to my, whatchamacallit. Oh, but now I'll get confused. Okay, so I'll do that in a minute. I'll get that cleaned up. But what I'm doing is a bedrockium drum. It's being filled up with essence from 3 essence cows. That's how many I had. All right, I think that covers most of the stuff. Okay, last thing, about time I did it, I've got some reward bags to open up. So let's see what we got here. That grader, that's a, let's do them, put them in order. Graders, a legendary, and an epic. Okay, let's start off with our, let's start off the other end. Legendary. Artifact. Healing diamond chestplate. Heals the player when equipped. Diamond apple. That's actually useful. A lot of people get it, don't like it when they see that one. I'm not even sure I've had it. No, I did have it once already. So what you do is you put those in the dishwasher for weapons and washing machine for armor. And once you put the soap in, as long as you leave them running, the soap will last forever. So you can repair all your equipment that way. Okay, what else we got? Amulet of Growth. Already had one of those, I think. Ender Tank, Ender Chest. I'll be making more of those, so they're useful, but they're cheap. They're no cost to me right now. Another diamond apple, who cares? Ultimate bin. Sewage floors. Nothing spectacular this time out. Oh, one other thing that I tried at Joe Sechik's suggestion. For food, I made some cookies, tossed them in a mana pool, and got back these. I couldn't find any solid information on them. From what I've read from people's comments is that they bring back all your hunger, and then they give you a buff, which basically gives you full saturation too. I don't know that they do anything other than that, so just full hunger, full saturation. All right, so I guess that's it for this episode. I hope you found it useful. Hope to see you next time. Go out there and have some fun. Thanks.